Hello, good morning. It's time to do business with me, Beverly Broom. The National Petroleum Authority has cautioned consumers of the dangers of patronizing petroleum products on tabletops. At the engagement with some journalists in the Bono region in Sunyani on petroleum pricing and quality, the regional manager, Kwejo Apia, said they are collaborating with the security to clamp down on such activities which pose risk to public health and safety. Precious Semevo has more in the following report.
The media engagement for journalists in the Bono region in Sunyani afforded officials from the National Petroleum Authority the opportunity to explain the petroleum pricing formula, post-deregulation and fuel quality. Abbas Ibrahim Tasunti, head of economic regulation at the NPA, said the deregulation policy has relieved the government of the burden of subsidy and ensured the availability of petroleum products on the market.
One of the purposes of the deregulation policy was to make sure that the supplier is recovering its cost fully and then make the product available for us. So to that extent, we have never had any shortage or scarcity of petroleum products since this policy was implemented. You know, we're used to having the price of petroleum products staying the same almost throughout the year without changing. It makes inflation stable, right? One of the impacts of the price regulation policy, because we keep seeing the prices rising when they are rising, we've seen that it's also affecting inflation. But the other side of the economy is like the premix fuel, which I mentioned. It is targeted at the fishermen, so that subsidy still exists. So but for petrol and diesel, which everyone uses their cars and buys, it was quite difficult to target that kind of subsidy, and that's how come the subsidy was removed. So it has relieved government of that burden of taking money it could have used for other developmental projects to pay for subsidies.
Said Ubedela Kutia, the head of quality assurance, on his part explained that the quality of the petroleum products gets compromised when there is interference along the way to the consumer.
Normally, you have petroleum products quality being compromised when there is a transfer. So if it stays at one place, nothing happens. But when it moves, that is where you start getting challenges. So once the product is pumped or transported from either the refinery or the harbor into the storage depot, we perform another stage of quality control checks, which is a verification of the product quality at the retail outlets. When that is done, that is, you always get the product meeting 100% because most of the transfer is through a pipeline where you have limited sources of interferences or contamination.
But the same quality cannot be said about petroleum products sold on tabletops in some communities. The Bono regional manager of the NPA, Kwejo Apia, said they are stepping up measures to ensure public safety and urged consumers to desist from buying from unapproved outlets.
We have realized that there are a few along the Atebubu, Kwame Danso stretch. You know, these are let's say, on-tarred roads with isolated fuel stations. Certainly, the authority do not condone the sale of petroleum products on tabletops. I mean, apart from the fact that it's hazardous, it also poses a great risk to public health and safety. So we are taking note of these outlets. When we are done, we are going to liaise with the district police commander, and then we will have a program to do a soup on one or two, that it will serve as a deterrent on the others. We will also do some public education for people not to also purchase fuel from these tabletops.
Precious Semevo, Joy Business, Sunyani.